The so-called family mob gang are in custody and facing federal charges right now in connection with a massive drug trafficking operation in our state. 5 people are already charged and more are expected at any moment. The arrest comes after the FBI executed search warrants in 5 cities across the metro, including Minneapolis and St. Paul. You can see all of them there on this map. Our Gordon Severson is here with all the details on this story. Gordon?
Yeah, this was a joint effort between the FBI, the DEA, and several local agencies who spent weeks planning today's operation. Hundreds of officers and agents have been working on this case, and the U.S. Attorney's Office is preparing to, in their words, dismantle a violent street gang that is responsible for selling millions of doses of drugs here in the Twin Cities.
We are very pleased today to announce and report the dismantlement and disruption of the family mob gang.
Since the 1990s, federal investigators say the family mob gang has been a major player in the local drug market.
We're responsible for the distribution of enough fentanyl for more than 3.5 million lethal doses in the last 7 months.
U.S. Attorney Dan Rosen says the operation Wednesday included 8 SWAT teams and 14 search warrants that will ultimately lead to 12 top gang members behind bars.
This is a clear example of what dedicated, focused, precise police work can achieve.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the investigation into this gang started after a pair of deadly mass shootings last September that killed 2 people and injured 10 others. O'Hara says officers quickly discovered connections to the family mob gang and its complex web of drug trafficking and gun violence along the Lake Street corridor.
The distribution of illegal narcotics and the spread of violence in our communities will not be tolerated.
FBI Special Agent in charge Richard Ivanchuk says it's likely these arrests are just the beginning, depending on the evidence they uncover in these search warrants.
Our communities should know that the FBI will continue to partner with exceptional agencies. Those partnerships will stand to send a very clear message to those who seek to fill the void created by the dismantlement of the family mob network.
Now, over the last few weeks, several top-level attorneys have resigned from the U.S. Attorney's Office, so we wanted to know if they have the staffing to handle all of these new cases. The acting U.S. Attorney says he believes they do, and he gave us an update on how many attorneys are left in the office. He says back when his predecessor, Andy Lugar, ran the office, they had 64 assistant attorneys. That number dropped to 47 in the months leading up to President Trump taking office, which legal experts say is pretty common when a new administration takes over the White House. Rosen took over, and then we saw another round of resignations during Operation Metro Surge. So at this point, Rosen says he has 36 attorneys on staff right now, so a little over half as many as the office had about a year ago. And Rosen says they are in the process of hiring several new attorneys who will soon start working on these cases.
Now, Gordon, this is the same office that is handling all the fraud cases as well. I know Minnesotans definitely don't want to see any of those cases slip through the cracks. Did he talk about whether there are enough attorneys for those as well?
Yeah, we did ask him about that this afternoon as well. And again, he believes they do have enough attorneys on staff to handle those fraud cases as well.
All right. Thank you, Gordon.